Hey, welcome to Arghh channel. We are M3 Movies on YouTube. We talk about movies and films and stuff.
Hello!
Hello.
Hi. Yeah. Welcome to M3 Movies. I'm Jack.
I'm Dylan.
Oh.
I'm Brian.
Wow,
Sorry, I'm not
really
paying
just-
attention.
I messed up
What
the order.
shocking, Brian?
Or did Brian mess up the order?
Oh my
I
God.
messed up the order. It's okay.
You messed up the order and then started playing something on your phone.
I was
out
on
loud.
Instagram.
Sounded
Don't
stupid.
play it.
I was
Don't
on
play it again.
Instagram.
Brian is huddled up into a little blankie.
Yeah, I'm comfy.
Yeah. Welcome to M3 Movies, episode 37. The last episode of season 1. We made
You
it,
can't
gang.
just drop that.
Woohoo.
What? Yes, I can.
That doesn't make any sense out of context.
What do you mean?
You have to explain what that means.
We're doing seasons now. What do you mean? What are you talking
Why are we
about?
doing seasons?
Because that's how it's done, to break it up and make it easier.
Yeah,
for
but like,
people.
why specifically now, huh?
Because next week is our 1-year anniversary. It's M3's
I was gonna say
birthday.
yay, but I had to cough, so I did that instead.
I'll probably write a. I can use the birthday jingle again. I'm just.
What do you mean?
I'm just.
Oh,
kidding.
yeah.
But for us, it'll just be all right. This time, for IMDb birthdays, M3 movies, and it'll be the end
That's
of
very
it.
clever.
What? If you're listening on YouTube, which is an unbelievably large amount of you,
And it's a sin.
about half of our listeners actually.
Do you still listen on YouTube, Dylan?
No, actually I don't.
Good. You're not a sinner. If you're listening
Well,
on YouTube,
yeah.
you're a sinner.
Because with the podcast, I can play it offline. Like, I can download it.
You
See, that sounds-
ads for us.
It sounds promotional, but it really is helpful.
Yeah,
because
it's you
if I'm out and
can
about.
listen. If you're cool, and you better be cool. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Breaker, Radio Public, and Overcast. Just look up our name, and you can find us there. You can also find us on Anchor by going to anchor.fm/m3movies or going to the Anchor website /app and just looking for our names. But it's really easy to listen to us that way. And honestly, really, I don't understand why anyone listens to the YouTube anymore. If you're listening to the YouTube right now, comment and tell me why you're such a heathen.
But do like it on YouTube, right?
Do like it on YouTube, yes.
That's always my dilemma.
Like it on YouTube, but don't listen on YouTube.
Yeah.
Make it look like we have more viewers than we actually do. Maybe with season 2, I can try to get Brian to go the duration of an episode without going onto his phone.
Let's beat him up every time he goes on his
Tommy
every
Wiseau
time.
tweeted something.
What did he tweet? It's been 3 minutes. You're already on your phone.
Actually, he was on his phone from the first
Oh
second.
my god. What did Tommy Wiseau tweet?
It was about a Facebook group. Somebody was like, "I've been blessed by Tommy Wiseau" because he invited them to join like a public Facebook group, and then he like quote tweeted it. It was like, "You're all invited."
That's pretty good. Wait, I'm sorry. Have you seen the Big Shark trailer?
Yes,
Good.
it's a brilliant.
Oh
trailer.
wait!
It's
Also,
a
we have a
fantastic
guest.
trailer.
We have guest Dylan. Sorry,
Yeah,
I completely
that's me.
forgot to introduce you.
No, you're good.
This is Dylan. Sorry,
This
go
is
on.
Dylan, when was the last time you were
No,
on
that's
a
all I was gonna
podcast?
say.
You know what? Because
I'm gonna
everything
wear
is on
sunglasses
one easy
indoors.
sheet.
I'm not really sure.
Command
It's been a
F.
while.
Dylan.
Huh?
Dylan O'Brien.
Oh man, the cooler me.
Dylan O'Brien's a good actor.
It has been a while. Episode 14?
That's not right.
No, that's very.
I was
much
on
not
with
right.
Ramsey.
He was on with Ramsey.
What? When was that?
It was once you were late to that one. There might not even be a podcast.
No, I was
going
on with
to-
Ramsey at your house once.
Episode 20, October 17th.
Do you remember the time?
Maybe.
It was you and Was it
What we
Ramsey?
talk about?
Or you and Aiden were here or something. and
Ramsey
Jack
the
got here
Stolen
late.
Halloween?
That's true.
Yeah. That was
But
like,
that was Infinity War.
that was
a
very
long time
early.
ago.
That was a
Was it?
very early
Yeah.
episode that I
Oh.
decided to be late for.
One of like
Good.
the 10 episodes about Infinity War.
Good.
It was,
We should talk about Infinity War today.
Oh, we should watch it before.
That's true.
We should pause everything
You should
right
say
now.
it and watch after. We're gonna watch. Me and Jack are gonna watch Infinity War after this
You're still watching it, right?
for Endgame.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be so nice because now we can make fun of it unencumbered.
I would have made fun of it
True.
unencumbered anyway.
Maybe
I
you'll like
would
it
have
more.
felt bad.
You know what? Open mind. Open mind.
Open mind.
Oh, I am
Why
excited
would
for
I? I've seen it
Endgame.
already.
I am actively excited for Endgame.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We're seeing it tomorrow.
Without me.
Without you.
It's
You
okay.
can
I
do
have
that.
work,
I'm sorry.
which I'm sure you already knew.
we
since
got
you
tickets
didn't-
so long ago.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to our first segment. Go jingle.
We like the work of these certain celebrities, and so we're gonna appreciate them and what they've done.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm stretching.
Oh no, I was talking to Dylan. He was trying to muffle a crunch. Brian now has sunglasses on.
Yeah.
It's far more charming.
This may very well be the last ever time that we call it Arghh Ye Mateys.
And that's
So
a real
it's
shame.
good. It's good that you're here. So welcome
I get to see
Arghh Ye
my baby
Mateys.
die.
Yeah.
Don't explain it, please.
Yeah, don't.
I got to.
No.
All right.
Don't explain it. We're gonna talk about David Diggs today.
Yeah. It was a duel. It was a violent, harsh duel
Blind spotting.
between David Diggs
You
and
see
Raphael Casal.
Raphael Casal.
Sazel.
Wait, he's the main character?
David Diggs is the main character. Raphael
Got it.
Casal is the white guy.
Ooh, I can
David
talk about something
Diggs
I want.
is
He's in.
awesome.
David Diggs is awesome.
He's cool.
Hamilton,
What?
blind
Yeah, he's Thomas
spotting.
Jefferson and Hamilton.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's where he got his start. Yeah.
Very cool.
Well,
I
and
own
that's not where he got his
and
start.
also
but-
Lafayette.
So we can
And
sing.
Lafayette. Yeah.
Yeah, you can say
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's very good.
That's
Very talented
rap
man.
too, yeah.
I
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. He was in some episodes of
So
that.
Jack is really bad at doing the Arghh Ye Mateys thing, so I'm gonna start taking over that.
I'm not bad at
Because
it.
here's the thing about when you make it David Diggs versus Raphael Casal.
Who's Raphael Casal?
Raphael Casal is the white guy in Blind Spotting.
I will
What else is
admit.
So here's the thing about when you make it David Diggs and Raphael Casal who have one film under their belts.
No.
You talk
No.
about that one film.
They're making a
Wait, I
green
have one other
eggs.
to talk
Hold
about.
on. Okay, I'm gonna need you guys
Oh,
to
man, this
shut
is
up.
just-
Shut up.
A scrambled podcast.
They're
get it?
making a green eggs and ham TV series,
Awesome.
Good.
which David Diggs will be in,
Awesome.
playing Mouse
Awesome.
as a voice. This
Good.
is absurd. I don't want that.
See, here's the thing about this is that we are going to talk about blind spotting now, and
Yeah.
that's going to be the whole
No, there's one
conversation.
more. There's one
And
more.
that's kind of getting rid of what else is David
I've
Diggs
seen
in?
another movie with him in it.
What else did he do?
Velvet Buzzsaw.
Oh yeah.
Is he in Velvet Buzzsaw?
He is in
Yeah.
Velvet
I have
Buzzsaw.
not seen Velvet Buzzsaw
I
yet.
think Velvet Buzzsaw is awful.
I still have not
I
watched
think
it.
it's trash.
You think it's trash?
Yeah.
I still have not watched it.
I don't know why.
I kind of want to.
I like the trailer.
It's competent,
It
but
was a-
it's,
it
the
was a-
story's terrible.
It is a good trailer.
I like the trailer too. I don't know.
But here's the thing. So
There's a
He's
dog
good in
that's barking. Sorry, guys.
I don't care.
Everyone's good.
Blind spotting is perhaps the most underseen slash not really underrated because everybody that saw it loved it, but underseen movies of last year. Holy hell, that movie is so good. That movie
so good. I
is
want to own it. I don't own
phenomenal. David Diggs especially, I think, just there's so many scenes in that movie that are just so memorable. Like
it. That
very rarely do I come out of a movie and have like multiple scenes in my head as like that's the scene.
Yeah.
That's like the scene of this movie. Like there's like 4 of those in this movie.
That movie, there were multiple times that I like felt my heart racing, which is kind of rare for me in a movie,
I-
unless it's
I-
like Star Wars. Or
I'm
First
gonna have to
Avenger.
like reflect on this after I say it, but I think that the scene at the end
Yeah.
So good.
that you get if you've
I
seen
thought
it,
you haven't seen it.
No, I have seen it.
Oh.
if
okay.
you've seen
Alright.
it, you know what I'm talking
I
about.
saw it recently.
I think that's the best scene of last year.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the best.
Cinematic
I have to.
masterpiece.
Let me think. Let me look at my list. I think that's true.
I was shocked by how into it I was by the end of the movie
right?
because I don't know why I thought I might not be, but I was. That's by the time that scene came around, I had like chills.
I mean, you latch on to the characters. They're believable and well portrayed and just all around like likable, even if like Raphael Casal.
Because
Whatever.
I've
If-
always
when
heard
his
that he's
character-
Good in
all.
that.
Like even when his character is been a little butthead, you
Yeah.
still root for them.
The
It's
scene with
so
those
well
two
done.
as well, when they're
Which
talking about,
one?
Right before.
they're talking about
Oh God, yeah, right.
basically
after the
like the use of
Yeah.
the N word
Yeah, that was interesting.
is so good. I thought that was an amazing scene.
Just
Let's see.
You know
There's
who's
a
in
scene
that?
in Capernaum that's pretty close, but I don't
You
think
know
so.
who's in?
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely know what I'm gonna say.
Star Wars Battlefront.
Janina Gavankar? I don't know.
I don't know how to.
She was in Battlefront too.
Mhm.
She
She's cool.
was Iden Verso.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Such
think
a
that's
nerd.
the best scene
Yeah.
of last year.
Hey, remember the
Yeah, I'll stand
cliffhanger
by
that second campaign left? That they're probably just not gonna resolve.
I never
now?
played the DLC, or not the DLC, but
The
the added
campaign.
mission.
Oh,
But
Listen to
the-
these two
there
freaks.
was no cliffhanger at the end of the main campaign.
No,
was there?
no, no.
Listen
It was
to
like
these
the
two
second part.
freaks talking about freaking Battlefront.
There's a really good Kylo Ren cutscene at the end of that campaign, and then I was like, okay.
Wait, which one?
The main camp. Oh wait.
Are
Was
you
it
being a
the-
doof?
No, it was
Oh,
in. It's
okay.
in the game.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's like part of the. I didn't
because
play.
I mean the end of the first campaign. Why are we talking about this?
Whatever.
David Diggs. This is what happens when you pick David Diggs and Raphael. Don't get me wrong, I love
You know,
David Diggs.
his-
David Diggs is a phenomenal actor, an amazing rapper, singer, performer,
Amazing.
just perfect person ever.
His
And you guys are talking about fucking Battlefront 2.
well, because Janina, his I think it was one of the Lafayette bits in Hamilton that was like the fastest, like the most words per minute or whatever in a Broadway show ever up to that point. He's a cool dude.
Cool.
Very cool.
So he was a part of the original cast.
Yeah.
Yes, he
That's
was
crazy.
The original. Why? How?
What? No, it's just
How
cool.
was that crazy? What's crazy about that, Dylan?
You know what, Jack?
I'm sick
Everything.
of you. Get
Everything.
out of here. Get out of my podcast.
It's my house.
I'm gonna
My
freak
pod-
out
well,
really
our
soon.
podcast.
Thanks, Jack.
You're welcome.
Um,
I'm gonna freak out real soon. Ooh, just give
Right
me
now. Wow.
Just give me 28 seconds and I'll be freaking out. Just
you guys want to do this thing?
Okay, let's.
The new releases thing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The one new release.
Should we save it for later?
No, dude, no.
You really want to? You want to
It'll take
explode
the whole
and
thing.
then?
Don't worry.
Okay.
We can skip
Oh.
movie news altogether. I'm pretty sure.
Dylan is up and
Told you I'd freak
dancing.
out.
I want. Okay. You're good guys. Let's go jingle.
New releases, new releases, new releases. They're out today, or tomorrow, or next week, or maybe they're already out. Who's to say?
New releases.
Chip, I'm not playing your fucking game.
Releases.
They're out right now.
You still
Well,
playing?
I wouldn't say that about. I almost said Battlefront. That was wrong.
Can't believe Hannah's seeing Endgame right now.
When does it come out? Friday?
Tomorrow.
I don't think she's
I
seeing it
thought-
right now.
You know what? In my mind, she's sitting
today?
right now.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit, I mean, kind of emotional for me, because the first ever episode of M3 Movies, we were
Oh.
debating whether or not to talk about Infinity War
Wait,
or
'cause-
save it for Dylan.
Yeah. 'Cause was that after Infinity War?
Yeah.
Oh, before
Yeah.
you had seen it.
I
Wait,
was curious.
I did see that late.
I was curious.
You both saw it a
Infinity
little late.
War came out
I saw it pretty
like
late.
a year and a day
the-
before
yeah.
Endgame. Yeah.
A year and a day after Endgame.
Infinity War
Yeah.
Came out after
the 27th.
Endgame.
And this is the 26th.
came out after Endgame.
No, a year and sorry,
364
a year
days.
just
A
under
year minus 1 day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I really botched that. You know what I meant?
Let's move on.
Yes.
So,
Avengers Endgame's coming out, guys.
It's, you know what? It's honesty time for little old Jack. I've been a fan of Marvel this whole time. I've seen every Marvel movie at least twice, at least 3 times.
Have you seen every Marvel movie?
No, I haven't seen Captain Marvel or Ant-Man and the Wasp or Incredible Hulk.
Is Ant-Man and the Wasp on?
Netflix, yes it
Netflix.
is.
You should just watch it.
But really, I actually
don't
kinda
need to.
don't want to.
No, you definitely don't need to, but it's pretty harmless.
But
Captain
also,
Marvel's
I
It
like
is
don't
pretty
really
harmless.
want
Captain
to.
Marvel's terrible.
Like by comparison.
I would rather watch. That's not true. Just kidding. I was about to say I'd rather watch Captain Marvel again, just because it's like entertaining factor
My thing
of
about
how bad it
Ant-Man-
is.
Yeah, no,
But then
still
I
no.
thought about it and I was like, no, still no.
because it's not funny.
No, it's just
And
so
that's
annoying.
something that most MCU movies can at least get.
My thing about Ant-Man and the Wasp is I'm just genuinely not interested in them.
I wasn't either.
Okay.
If you're not interested,
I didn't love it.
it's
but
not great. It seems like Ant-Man is like the one character that they just like for some reason haven't integrated
it's
well.
kind of weird. He works
Yeah.
in like, he works sometimes. I do like the first Ant-Man a lot.
I like it.
I think it's very
It's fine.
solid. It's not that great,
It's- you,
but
you
I
watch
just,
it. You watch it for Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same with this new one, except it's just not as good.
Yeah, except this one also has a pretty good Michael Douglas performance.
Michael Douglas
I
is
will
good.
say I think some of the
Pretty great
action set
Evangeline
pieces
Lilly.
that I've seen have looked kind of creative.
They are.
They aren't.
They aren't?
Not in Ant-Man and the
Okay.
Wasp.
The
I thought it
kitchen
was
fight.
one of the
I like the
worst
kitchen.
actions.
I like the first fight. Is weird. The
I don't
Evangeline
remember.
Lilly fight before.
Yeah.
It's just the
You like that
the
one?
kitchen. Yeah, I like that fight.
I don't. The trailers
Why are we
are.
not talking about Endgame?
Well, I'll just say the
Marvel in
trailers. The
general.
trailers for Ant-Man and the Wasp show all the action scenes in the movie.
Yeah, they show
Every
all the
single
cool
one.
stuff.
Oh.
No, but there's for every action scene in that movie, there's a clip from it in the trailer,
Yeah.
and most of the good parts.
That
So
makes sense. Yeah, Endgame. It's
Yeah.
getting really good reviews actually
Yeah.
so far.
I'm actually.
It's
surprised
interesting
at how
because it
highly
has
they're-
lower scores. At least I'm going off Metacritic here.
Yeah,
It has lower scores in general than Black Panther, but
Yeah.
I think reading, like, just excerpts and just reviews in general, they sound like the language sounds better.
I am going
people
to
like that.
open up my soul.
Hmm.
I am interested now. Now that the more I've been sort of like thinking and meditating upon it, it's this movie I think should be the most not formulaic, which is really my biggest problem with Marvel is that it's formulaic and doesn't really bring anything new to the table. So if they break that and actually make like storytelling choices and risks, which I feel like this movie is probably going to be the one that should be like that, then yeah, I'm down. And it's like the culmination of 10 years, so I am interested to see how they wrap it up.
I'm interested to see how they move on to the next saga.
Same.
Yeah.
You know,
I've
that's
heard that
that's
they-
like the
I've
main
heard
thing
they
that I'm
do set
interested
it
in.
up.
Because the thing is that, as much as the movies in general, for me, I'm not huge on. There's a few that I really like.
What are your top? I actually
Iron Man 3,
Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers 1, Doctor Strange are like my 4 top. I love those movies.
Doctor Strange.
I love Doctor Strange. Okay, so shut up. I love it. It's so good.
No, Brian, you're thinking Doctor Strange Love.
Ha ha. ha.
Well,
Up top.
that's
Whoa.
better. But
What-
Doctor Strange is also very good.
What about like Winter Soldier? I thought you really liked. Winter
I did really like Winter Soldier. When I was reflecting on Marvel in general, it went down for me because it kind of is really easy. I pinpoint it as like the place where it starts to get pretty consistently bad after that. In terms of like, that's where the Russos start, which I think is a big problem. I know you love the Russos, but I think they're a big problem for the franchise.
You love the Russos?
I love them.
Shut up.
Every single one of my favorite
Oh,
MCU movies
they're
is a Russo movie.
boring.
Yeah, I know you love the Russos. I think that they're like the biggest problem in the franchise. But that's okay.
So crazy to me.
Again, I can't comment on how much of what I don't like about them is
And
the
James
Russos.
Gunn. James Gunn and the Russos, I think, are
James Gunn is
the best
phenomenal.
things for the franchise.
I love James Gunn. I don't love Guardians 2, but
So
Guardians
do I.
1 is the
That's
best
my
movie of the franchise by a million years. Well,
It's
no,
great.
it's not by a million years, but by a lot.
Except the villain. Villain sucks.
Yeah, but it's not about the villain.
I know, but a lot of MC movies aren't about the villain.
Yeah, but a lot of them think they're about the villain.
That's kind of true.
The difference between
Ant-Man and the
That's the
Wasp.
difference between Guardians 1 and Thor 2, or Ant-Man and the Wasp, or
Yeah.
et cetera, right? There's good entries into this franchise, and I think that this is going to be one of them. The reason I think it's going to be good, and I've been saying it's going to be good. First of all of the footage and promotional stuff that they have released, I've said from the very start. You were there in film studies class when you showed me the first
This
trailer.
was a monumental
I
moment.
said, that looks good. It looks good. As soon as the trailer, I was like, it looks a good trailer. And everything since then has been good. I haven't seen anything too concerning.
Too concerning.
Too concerning.
I want
too
to hear what
concerning.
you mean by that.
I haven't seen any action sequences, which is
Right.
what I'm worried about still for this movie, but whatever. And then the thing is that if you view this as the same movie as Infinity War, so say it's like just like one like 5 hour, like 5.5, 6 hour movie, right? The first half
in this case Infinity War, I do not like because I think
act.
the first act
Yeah.
will say that
Pretty much.
Okay, yeah, actually, because I think that's why I don't like it, because Infinity War is this huge thing that leads to Endgame for me, right? And I think Endgame is where it gets interesting,
Sure.
right? It's where it's more about characters.
I
The
don't know.
reason...
I feel like Infinity War should have also been interesting.
It should have been. That's
Yeah.
why I don't like the movie. But, like, I always say this about Infinity War is that no character in that movie is any different at the end of it than they are at the start.
Well,
And that's
okay,
where Endgame
let's-
comes in.
No,
I
let's
disagree
be
with
honest
that.
here. There aren't many Marvel movies where that is the case.
I agree with that.
Except for
It's fair.
in the beginning they didn't have superpowers, and in the end they did. Because Marvel likes to do this thing where they have
That's
a
especially
character
true for Captain
and
Marvel.
any kind
Captain
of
Marvel?
any kind of development happens off screen, and that's a big problem that I think people have been pointing out recently too.
That's true.
But there's some that I
mean,
disagree
okay,
with that
look,
for.
look at Thor.
Yeah.
He was first two movies, Avengers, whatever. He's like this very, the Norse like serious,
Very arrogant.
yeah. And then all of a sudden, Thor Ragnarok, he's like upbeat and funny and having a
But
good time.
that's a positive course correction, in my opinion.
I think
No,
that
I'm
I think
not-
that
I'm
is
not
a
saying-
and it is
franchise
inconsistent.
course correction.
Yeah.
It's inconsistent,
Yeah.
but
I'm
I think
not- I'm
that's
not saying
them
there's anything
saying
wrong with it. Thor Ragnarok
Thor
is
1,
actually
Thor
one of my
2, we
favorites.
did something wrong. We need
Right.
to correct, and I
Which
think
I
that's
think
what
is
they did.
good.
I think that's fine.
But it's
I think
it's just
Captain
strange to me
Marvel.
that they didn't even like try to really show that as development. They just
Yeah,
kind of let it happen.
Yeah,
I guess, and
I
I
don't
mean-
have a problem with it because I feel like they needed it
That's
so badly.
Fair. I wish they had just done more with Loki. Like,
Yeah.
I wish they had just like made that relationship something that like changed Thor at all, but like the relationship just stays the same.
Loki
throughout.
started
I
getting
do agree with
predictable,
that.
too.
It's also strange.
Exactly. Like I
Evil
never
and
liked
then good,
Loki.
and then
I never
evil
liked
and then
Loki. I don't know
good.
why.
I think Loki is
In
great.
Thor 1, I liked him.
In Thor 1, I think Loki's the best part of like every movie he's in, except
Not-
for Thor 3.
not Thor 3.
Except for Thor 3.
And also, for me, not Avengers.
Not Ragn.
Oh, he's not the best
yeah,
part of
that's-
Avengers, but he's good. I think he's really
I
good.
think he's serviceable.
He's
he's
one
kind of
of-
boring to me in Avengers.
Well, he's one of the more solid villains in that I think they don't rely on him for the action scenes because
That's
he
true.
That's
really
true.
can't do much, so
it's
they
more
have
about
to rely
yeah,
on the character.
yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
What was I talking about? So what I was saying is that Endgame is where I think that development comes in, because now you have characters dealing with consequences, which is what drives development of characters. There are so
Yes.
few of these movies that deal with consequences, right? Civil War tries to deal with consequences,
Yeah.
right? Like Iron Man deals with the consequences
And
of
then throws
Sokovia.
them all out the window.
Well,
Someone is crippled. Someone
yes.
is crippled, and by the end of the movie has robot legs.
yeah, that's a
No,
problem.
yeah. So like,
I'll agree with that.
Iron Man like is dealing with these consequences in the beginning of Civil War. That's like where all of the conflict of Civil War comes from. The third act throws it away,
Uh-huh.
and in my opinion,
I don't think it throws it away.
I think it throws it
It
away.
absolutely
I think the
was
third
right.
act.
I think that movie
There's that
is
letter
so.
that was
I think
like,
that movie
"Hey,
is
sorry."
like, should we be about the Sokovia Accords or should we be about Bucky? And
Let's
I can't
be-
decide.
Let's be about
And
neither. of
while
them,
I think that
guess.
Bucky is really important, and I think that Bucky hopefully will continue to be a very cool major character in these movies.
Did you guys even remember that Zemo was in that?
I like Zemo.
I like Zemo.
I just kind of
See,
like
I
forgot
like
that he
the
existed.
thing about
He's,
Civil War
he's
is
one of the
that
better villains.
the thing about Civil
Really?
War.
I think he's a good villain.
I think he's not bad at all.
I think he's
Entirely
interesting.
I think he's
entirely
interesting at all. Okay, so they try to make him the bridge between these two things. They try to make him the bridge between the Bucky side and the Sokovia side,
Sure.
right?
Yes.
And then
I
they
can't
just
see
the
it.
movie is just like good elements that don't work together,
Sure.
right?
I don't
And
know. I don't have that problem.
I-
I feel like they work together.
I feel like it just changes course so quickly, and like it doesn't know what it's about, right?
But
It's setting up this thing that's like going to be this huge conflict in the MCU, but then it's a completely different conflict at the end, and it doesn't feel like anything has
But
changed.
what about the fight between Iron Man and Cap at the end? I think that fight is great.
I think it's choreographed much better than most Russo fights, and I think that it's shot
But
better.
what, I want to hear. Your
I will
thoughts on
not.
the
I don't
airport
think
battle.
that it's a good fight
I think it's great.
for characters.
It's so emotional.
I don't
thought.
think it's emotional at all because I'm
What,
just
the-
like
sorry,
'cause
wait,
I
zoned
think
out the airport scene?
No,
no,
not-
no,
oh,
okay.
the final
That's
fight.
not emotional.
with-
that
with
no,
two.
that one sure.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's emotional.
I will agree that it's emotional.
I disagree just because
No, okay. I think listen,
it's emotional
blah,
to me
blah,
the
blah,
way
blah.
it's emotional to me the way like
in the moment emotional, not
It's-
long standing.
No.
Sure, it's
It
emotional to
would've
me
been
in the way
significantly
that like
more-
Star-Lord like beating up Thanos is emotional. I'm like, you're just being dumb. I'm just like Iron Man's just being
yeah,
dumb.
I mean,
like
that's
we
kinda
as an
true.
audience are told that Bucky had no control over this. So we inherently know that Iron Man is objectively wrong in his
Right.
standpoint here.
Yeah.
And while it is emotional, it's like hard to be like engaged
But
in that.
Cap
in my
also
opinion.
it would have
lie.
been.
Huh?
He did also lie to
Well,
his
yeah, they
friend.
make mistakes throughout the movie.
No, he did,
right? The
but-
characters do. It's just
I
Captain
think it
America
also-
Civil War is
it
such
also
a
would have been
such a weird thing for me.
It would have been much more emotional if they had actually kind of kept that tension.
Yeah.
But
Well,
instead-
There's
it's still
so
kept-
much like
well,
to
it
pull
goes
out
from
for Civil
it
War.
goes from
I
that.
think Civil
They
War
haven't
is
met
like
since then.
I think Civil War
Yeah.
is one of the most interesting. Like if you were to do like a deconstruction of a Marvel movie, I think that would be one of the more interesting ones because there's so much happening.
Yeah.
And like I don't think it works when you put it all together, but I think that there are individual elements that are really really strong. And while yes, the airport scene has the traditional Russo gray and ugly looking.
It
it's
is gray.
Also a cool scene for the most
I don't
part.
think so.
I think it's very.
It is.
I think that there are
Underwhelming.
cool elements to it.
And it does get
Um,
into like 1v1, like little.
It does,
pocketed,
which I think is a
which-
good thing.
There's
I think
no-
is good because they have to do it, but I also think that's like a little bit of a
There's,
cop out.
there's
It's a
no-
cop out, but
there's
it's also
no
smart.
stakes.
Yes,
there's
I
no
agree.
because they're like they're.
There aren't. I mean, it really
There's no
is people
stakes. It
throwing
really is.
action
why
figures
would
at each
you
other.
like? I don't
It's
really want to
awesome.
watch it if there's no stakes.
I think it's awesome. I don't know.
I think that
I can
I
be
don't know.
satisfied with just people throwing action figures
Listen,
at each other.
that's no.
That's what it is.
That's part of why I'm finding that I'm also kind of more interested in Endgame. And you brought this up before we started recording, Brian. The like this is the one with stakes. This is the
Yeah.
one where if something happens, it's like happening.
But there are some things that happen in Infinity War which I think will stick, which would be considered.
I think
big
there's
stakes.
one.
Loki and Gamora, maybe.
I think
Loki
I,
and Gamora, those are pretty big for
I
MCU.
think-
It's pretty big.
Gamora will stay.
Loki more so. Yeah.
Loki, I can
Gamora's coming
definitely
back.
see coming back.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I don't think he will.
The
I
little
think that-
trickster? Are you
See-
kidding me?
Yeah, but
You know what?
It'd be
You know
too
what I
on the
can.
nose.
You know
Remember
what
when he
I
cut
think
off
will
Thor's
happen. I
hand?
think that the
dumb.
Loki series on Disney Plus will continue, like the young Loki
Yeah, it'll
thing
be a
from the
prequel.
comics.
Yeah, it won't be about.
It's not Loki, but it's still Loki.
Yeah, like Tom, like
it's
not
diff-
Tom.
It's not Tom
Hiddleston. Like,
Hiddleston.
yeah,
Was
Loki.
it not Tom Hiddleston?
It's not Tom.
Ooh.
They said it isn't. I thought they said it was.
That would kind of be pretty ballsy, actually.
Did
I
they
don't.
say
I
it?
don't know if it is.
Oh, wait,
but-
I think
but
they said
still
it
think
was
it's
as
a
well.
prequel.
I
still
think it
it's a prequel.
should be. It should be.
See, I had
Probably
Tom
see because
Hiddleston.
I was seeing just like ideas that the shows would end up leading into a Young Avengers type thing, and one of those characters could be young
Oh
Loki.
no, Young Avengers is totally gonna be in the next lineup. Like I think that's gonna be a Phase 4 movie.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Younger
Because
people that they can keep around.
like,
longer.
wanna keep doing
No, because
Avengers.
if you look at like the lineup for the actual shows for
It's just
like the show
Hawkeye.
it's Hawkeye,
Vision,
Falcon and Bucky,
WandaVision.
WandaVision and Loki, which all
Yeah.
have very obvious ways to turn that into Young Avengers.
Those guys?
Yes.
What do you mean?
So Wanda and Vision have their kids, which are prominent
Oh.
heroes in the Young Avengers
I
series.
didn't think about that.
And then
I think
Young Loki is Young Loki, and then
wait, but I don't understand. I
okay.
don't think Vision's coming back.
you don't think Vision's gonna?
I don't. I think
You
he's
think this is
done.
all prequel stuff?
I can agree with that.
I'm not
actually.
saying it is all prequel stuff. I assume some of it is.
You
But,
know,
like,
yeah,
I don't.
I could see Vision not coming back.
I really-
Now that
I can
think
see
about it,
Vision
I don't
coming
think he
back in a
should.
different way. I
He's-
don't know.
He was. I thought he was a cool enough, like, kind of useless side character who should be done.
Yeah.
Paul Bettany's fun to watch.
I
but
love
that's-
Paul
That's
Bettany.
the depth
Paul Bettany
to
is-
his
I
character.
agree with
He's
that,
fun.
but he was charismatic and whatever.
And you can get that in
I was
Solo
just. I mean, again,
with a
like
better
the
movie.
stuff that I was reading was just speculation about Young Avengers, obviously. But I thought it was
That's
a cool
interesting.
idea. I thought it was a cool idea.
I don't think they'd set up something so big for their future in a TV show. But
Sure.
also Disney's becoming such a different situation. you
Sure.
know, with Disney Plus.
It was
Who
just
knows?
speculation that I'd seen.
Let's.
we're not moving on.
Okay, no,
We're not moving on.
let's. We
No.
what?
This
no,
is all.
this is the whole thing.
We've been
Come
talking
on.
about this for 16 minutes.
Here we go. Endgame.
Do you have any
I just
obvious
wanted
things
to.
you want to talk about?
You want to do like a brief like prediction?
Oh wait.
Predictions? Sure. I'm down.
Real quick, I want.
Oh, yeah.
I want to chat to Benjamin. Hey Benji.
God, I forgot the fucking Benjamin.
What are you looking forward to most about Endgame? Would you say?
I like Thor 2.
Can you please destroy him?
He likes Thor too.
He likes Thor, which is weird because I asked him what he was most excited about for Endgame.
That is really weird, isn't it,
yeah.
Jack?
It's kind of strange how he said that.
Santa Claus isn't real.
So,
No.
Benjamin, we're gonna ignore you for a second.
Santa Claus is real.
He's so naive.
Okay. So,
I love these theories that are like, Ultron's coming back, Hela's coming back.
God, I think I
You're
tried
an
myself.
asshole. You are an asshole. You are an asshole.
Enough.
You are an asshole.
That's
You
so
are
many
an
curse
asshole.
words, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that.
You are an asshole.
Oh, you're just getting
All right, Benjamin, go to sleep.
Cap is gonna lift Thor's hammer, or what, Stormbreaker.
I've seen that. Yeah.
It's
got
gonna
it.
happen.
I think they
it's
got
too
it.
cool.
And also,
It
like,
is cool.
they've been building up to other people being able to lift the hammer.
Yeah.
For so long. And,
Who's gonna lift
like,
it and die?
Nothing's happened. What was it?
That
It
would
was
be the way it
Vision.
worked.
Vision just kind of like grabbed
That
it.
was so cool.
And it was
I'm sorry, it is.
No, I remember watching that when I was a Marvel fan, and I was like, "Oh my God, they're gonna build on that, and it's gonna be like, what? But he's worthy, and oh my God!" And it was like, "Oh,
It was.
That's
cool.
one of the better jokes in Ultron. That
It was a
one
good
of the,
joke. It was just a joke, though. I think
as bad as Ultron is.
it's pretty.
could you
funny.
imagine
What
if
a bad
Ultron was
movie.
able to lift it?" It's like, "Oh,
That'd be make
Christ."
no sense.
What a bad movie. But so.
I actually don't know where I was going with this. I don't really have any
predictions.
big
Okay,
ones.
so I guess I'll talk about broad predictions.
But please don't use any knowledge you might have, like from stumbling.
I don't have any
okay,
knowledge.
But I wasn't sure.
No,
if you saw
yeah,
a theory
I
or
don't have
something.
any knowledge. I mean, I have theories. I don't have anything from like the leaks or anything, or
Yeah.
any reviews or anything.
Okay, good.
Hey, why would Ant-Man go into his butthole?
To expand.
Why not the ear, or the mouth,
Yeah,
or
no,
the nose?
just because it's funny. That's literally it.
Correct.
I've thought about that too.
Well, I mean, to be
I
fair,
think
the
my
skull
prediction
is going to
is-
be thicker than the rectum.
Same body.
Also, I saw this thing where like
So in
if
theory-
you puncture or like rip the rectum, it's fatal. Like you're screwed unless
That's-
you seek attention.
Well, yeah, because you'll bleed out.
Yeah. But I'm just saying.
Thanos
isn't that
running
amazing?
to the emergency room.
Yeah, like
my butthole.
no, like
Bleeding
even
out
if he
through his
doesn't,
butthole?
even if he doesn't blow up Thanos like entirely, it will kill him.
Eventually, yeah.
Certainly. There's nothing he can do.
This is
He probably won't even know what happened.
Okay, so
I
my
predict
theory.
Thanos is gonna make butt armor. We're gonna watch Thanos
So-
make butt armor to protect his butt.
No crap.
I'm gonna say
Seal
what I
crack.
want out of Endgame.
Go ahead.
So, I think that what I'm gonna feel about it is there's gonna be 2 hours that I'm gonna love,
Yeah, I agree.
and then they'll bring back the characters,
yeah.
have this big fight. I'm really hoping that they have their final fight without having brought back the characters yet.
I think
Very much hoping for that.
very unlikely.
However, if they don't, whatever. Either way, final fight that I'm gonna hate. Not gonna like it. It's gonna be gray and dull and boring. Russo action. Or I should say Marvel action, because I feel like it's unfair to pin it on the Russos. But Russo Marvel action.
Yeah, I actually really can't think of a really solid Marvel action scene.
I like
Battle
some
in
of
New
the
York.
Thor stuff.
Battle in New York.
Battle in New York, sure.
It's fine. I don't have any.
Have you watched that thing that Jack talked about this on the podcast a few weeks ago? The limitations of the
Yeah.
Marvel.
Ooh.
Have you
Oh,
watched that?
That's a good
only
video.
a
You
bit.
should watch. I think you would actually
No,
think
no.
that's very interesting.
My problem is I don't like his format.
That's fair. He's
It's
annoying. but-
I think if you can get past the weird Charlie Brown stuff,
I'm not
it's
a
just
Peanuts
video
fan,
essay.
so it's-
no, yeah, just skip
Yeah.
skip that. It's not
no,
important.
I know. I don't remember anything from it because I like kind of scanned through it.
Yeah,
I'll watch it.
I think you
enjoy
would find it interesting
He
as
does
well.
it in a very
secular way.
Isn't it just about him like not liking it and not knowing why? And it's
no,
just,
it's about
well,
him
no, it's,
dissecting
he's
why
like he's like a comic book fan,
yeah.
and like
he's
it was like his dream to see these movies on film,
screen,
and then
yeah.
he sees them and they're good, but he feels like there's something missing.
Yeah.
And he's kind of dissecting them to see why, right?
It's very well done.
I think
Especially
it's also very well
because
done.
it's coming from the point of view that of someone that actually does like it. So it's
I know,
less
and
of me being
I-
like,
I
it
think
sucks
that-
because it's bad.
I think that it does come from a very good place, and I think that they are very good dissections, and it's where a lot of my ideas about what I want the future of the franchise to be come from is that video, because I didn't know a lot about the comics beforehand, but it explains some of the comic theories, and I do like the idea of keeping the same heroes but changing the people behind the mask.
You like that?
I like that idea.
Really?
So like if the next Cap was
I don't know.
Bucky or Falcon
It's questionable.
or something,
I just
right?
don't. I don't see why.
I like that
I don't see why they would have
because that creates
this
stakes.
platform though.
Stakes? How?
Because then
someone
you can kill a
die.
character whenever. Because if you set that precedent of there's going to be another guy that's in this mask,
Because they're not going to.
it just doesn't matter who's in this mask, right? There's going to be a guy that's worthy to be in Captain America's mask. That person will exist, but it's never again going to be Steve Rogers.
Zachary Quinto.
Steve Rogers will die in Endgame,
As
or
Zachary Quinto.
a future. I don't care when he dies. Like, when Steve Rogers dies, it will never again be Steve Rogers. It'll be Bucky Barnes, and then Bucky Barnes will have his phase 4, 5, 6, however many,
So do you think they're
and then
gonna?
Bucky Barnes will die, and then
So-
there'll be another one.
So are you
right?
hope-
And that's
Oh
a
my
way
God.
for longevity and more sagas.
That's interesting.
So
with
then are
different
you-
characters and
are you-
different
Are you
conflicts.
imagining that they sort of follow the same path that the comics did, where like they changed the person that's the hero and also the hero in a slight way?
Yeah,
Like take Batman, like
Exactly.
the what was it, the Azula or whatever Batman,
I don't know the
I know
story you're
there's
talking about.
a woman.
or like the
Iron Man
the
right now.
future.
Yeah,
Iron Heart or something. I forgot.
Yeah, Ironheart.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because hearts are feminine.
Yes.
That's why.
She shoots pink lasers.
She-Hulk.
She shoots.
Yeah.
She-Thor.
They'll probably do a She-Hulk. Let's be real.
Let's be real.
I wouldn't mind a
It'd be
She-Hulk,
pretty awesome.
especially if they also made her a monster. I don't get that. I don't get why Hulk becomes an actual giant green monster and she's just
Oh yeah.
a
No, it
green
doesn't make any
strong
sense.
woman.
Yeah, it's true. No. This
Let
movie,
She-Hulk
no,
be
but
a
this,
monster.
This
Inherently
movie,
weaker.
You guys know about the Hulk
Jesus
stuff
Christ.
for this movie.
No, but what?
The
Oh,
Hulk
he's
stuff,
like Dr. Hulk, right?
where he's
like
like
Dr. Mario.
He's like
Yeah.
a mixture between,
Bruce and Hulk.
which could be interesting. I don't
I
know.
actually think it could be interesting as well because I think that
it gives him
the
something to do.
conflict between Hulk and Bruce in Endgame is like it's mostly played for jokes, but I can see
In
where it can be
Infinity
kind
War.
of interesting. Or yeah, in Infinity War, yeah.
and
It's
not like their handling of it.
mostly
Not at
played
all.
for jokes, but
And
I see the
also-
potential.
and
I
also
see
just-
where
yeah,
it's
I do
like
too.
there's
Machina.
conflict there.
It could be cool, but with how they did it in Infinity War, it sets it up to be way more awesome in this movie because
Yeah, that's true.
now it feels like thank God he's out.
Okay,
Thank God, yeah.
my prediction for Dylan's dad is calling him.
Wait, you guys can keep.
Yeah, let's keep talking. We'll keep
Yeah, we'll
talking.
keep talking.
Go, Dylan, go.
We do this every week. My thank you for moving the mic closer to me. Dylan, shut up. That was quick.
That was very quick.
Dylan's back. My prediction is this movie is going to have their best use of the Avengers theme.
Oh yeah,
It's got to.
It's going to.
It's simply got to.
I think that
I
it's
have
going
a
to be
prediction for that.
hard to
And
top the
yeah, I
Battle
think-
of New York.
I think if this is
Just
going
that
to be
shot. That
I
shot
think
is
if
the
this
most memorable in MCU history.
Sure. I think if this is going to be the last Avengers movie, at least of this sort of squad, then this has got to be it for that.
No, it
Avengers
is.
theme.
They're.
No, they've got to retire it.
Oh,
yeah.
they're not retiring it.
No.
Well, they've got to.
No, they don't.
Maybe
It's-
just
it's like the Star
maybe
Wars
just write
theme.
another
The
theme.
Star Wars themes.
They'll
Except
use
like
it-
they
use the
no,
theme
no, no.
everywhere.
Except the Star Wars theme is applied to just Star Wars, whereas the Avengers
So are you
theme
are
is
you
applied
saying
to
that
these
like
Avengers.
That's
for example
Well, is
like
it?
the Empire
Yeah,
theme
look,
should never
that-
be
It's the leitmotif is used like when they're finally teaming up and working as a squad with that
Yeah.
that awesome shot. That's when it's used, and that's when it's like fully formed and developed, and like
No,
that
but
is
it's used
the
before
most-
that.
Well, sure, but it's just kind of like thoughts here and there.
It's not like the
It's not like
I don't know.
the
I don't
main-
think they need to retire the theme.
I don't
think so.
I think it'd be cool.
I
if
think
they
that's
did.
like-
Stakes, Brian.
I think
They
that's
gotta
like-
retire something.
Like, do you like okay? So for like Ryan Johnson's Star Wars trilogy, are they going to get
Yeah.
rid of all of the themes and start from scratch?
Probably. Where's
Why-
the Cloud City theme? Huh?
I don't remember
Where's the
the
Cloud?
Yeah.
I don't know where the Cloud City theme is. What do you mean?
Where's
sure I
where's
recognize
the Jawa the dun, 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 dun. That's not.
But those
Oh,
aren't
God,
like
the Ewoks.
famous themes.
Yeah,
But I
there's
don't-
themes.
You know,
wouldn't
like
mind
There's
that.
still themes.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun. That'll be in Ryan Johnson's trilogy. That will be, and it should
Yeah,
be.
of course. Well, because that's
Then
also
what's
just,
what's the problem? I don't see what your problem is.
My problem is like I don't trust them to make a better theme. So
I was actually,
oh,
I was
for sure,
saying
no.
this to you earlier. I was like, it would be really cool if in this movie there's just
I
another
hope.
great theme.
The problem is
Just
it's gonna
add
be
one.
hard.
Just get a new
it's
one.
gonna be hard to like Jack is saying,
Yeah.
pin that on a character or something like
Exactly.
because otherwise that theme's just gonna be a theme randomly
I think
in the Avengers movie. It's just the Avengers
the
theme.
only good score in
MCU.
MCU is the Avengers, with maybe
I think
Black
there's other
Panther.
good ones.
I like Black Panther.
I like
score.
the Ant-Man's theme.
I don't know Ant-Man.
It's just all kind of.
It's
I-
that
I-
one's different.
unforgettable.
I think a lot of them are forgettable, but if you actually listen to them, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I guess it's like the movies for you guys.
That's fair.
I've seen the
forgettable,
movies,
but
though.
if you watch them, they're pretty good. That's most of them.
That's what I'm saying. I do think though, prediction and theme related, that theme will be used in the third act when it's literally every single character
Yeah, that's probably gonna be.
like charging into something, and
That's
that'll
gonna
be
look so
awesome.
boring.
Oh, it's gonna be so cool.
But it's gonna look visually so boring.
You know what? Okay,
No, it's
wait,
gonna look-
wait,
I
wait,
miss
wait, wait,
all
wait.
the sweeping pans of like the Whedon era, like this.
Hey,
like,
you
just-
don't know. You don't know.
I think
It
if
could be
it's
awesome.
I think
like-
if it's every character like teaming up, then it could be.
The
It could be
creative ways of
awesome.
moving
Yeah.
between characters,
Like, that would be the Civil
Whedon
War
movies.
moment.
The Whedon
Right,
movies
yeah.
move
Times
between
20.
characters.
No,
so
I mean, like,
well
comics.
in these action sequences.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. I think that's what they're. I think they're trying to
Emulate that.
emulate those frames where it's
Yeah.
like tons of characters going on.
Okay,
Like-
I know
like-
you like this scene, the Thor entrance in Infinity War.
I think it's cool.
There is
It's
no
so-
reason for the Avengers
no,
thing to
here's
be
the-
there.
Here's the thing.
Except
While-
for that
I
it
never
sounded
agree.
good.
While-
It sounds
Yeah.
good there.
While
But like in terms of character and like theme,
shush.
me shush.
Yes, you
I will
shush.
punch you in the nose.
I will kick you in the nose.
I don't
okay?
have a nose.
Fuck.
Go on.
F word.
But so here's the thing about Thor's entrance in Infinity War.
Yeah.
While I agree, kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Even pretentious indie film lover Brian Johnson, will sometimes have a moment where that's pretty cool.
It is
and
not-
even I could not
But it's
resist when
not-
Thor comes like barreling in with an axe made of lightning, just destroying things. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
I guess that was like
Even I'll have that. Like,
was
that's pretty fun.
That was like me with the Hellboy trailers, with him
That's like-
riding on the back
yeah,
of a
yeah.
dragon
Or like,
with a
that's like-
fire
like-
crown.
I gotta talk
That's
It
about
like-
may be a bad movie,
Oh,
but
it's
like
yeah,
so
we'll
bad.
talk about that
Don't
later.
see it.
We'll talk about
Okay.
that.
Don't see it.
That's
Oh,
when
but I want
that's
to.
like
No,
in Mad
no,
Max.
no.
In Mad Max, like they'll have like the build-ups, and then it's just like a guy's playing a guitar and fire's coming out. I'm like, there's no reason. That's so cool. This guy's just like shooting fire out of a guitar.
Wait, okay, real quick.
Yeah.
You
should
have
we,
those moments.
Should
You
we
need them.
ditch movie news this week?
Yes.
Why?
All
What
right.
is the
Just
movie
keep
news?
talking about it.
That's why. Yeah, not that
Yeah,
interesting.
movie news. We would have talked about Chaos Walking.
We can just talk
more
about the end
Endgame
credits.
We can talk
and
about the
Detective
endgame parts of
Pikachu.
movie news.
There's
the
It
one
has no
thing.
end credit.
It has no end credit scene.
So it definitely doesn't, because
That's
I know a
what
lot
you
of people
said.
were at
I don't
press
know.
screenings were like there could be one.
I know-
when it releases actually.
I know a lot.
They wouldn't do that.
They've done it before.
Have they really?
Yeah, because they're trying to, I guess,
Make people go again?
Is this spoilers? I don't know, but I know that end credit scenes can be cut out of press screenings, and I don't know why.
I don't know. I kind of hope there's not one.
I don't think there is.
I don't like the end credits like idea.
What?
I don't think it's cool.
But everyone does.
I don't know. I think it's just kind of just showing it.
Yeah.
Like it just feels like they're showing me a deleted scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just like
Especially the Ant-Man and the Wasp. Do you know what that is? Do you know why
The
people
ant-
waited
I
like
saw it,
10
yeah.
minutes through credits
Yeah.
to see a big ant drumming?
Well, it is.
And I have to sweep
Wait,
theaters.
wait.
I work at a movie theater.
Wait, can I say?
Go for it.
Something kind of cool about that end credits clip is you can hear like a ton of like horrific things
Yeah, you
happening
can.
outside, which is kind of cool.
I-
Like it's a
I-
little haunting.
yeah.
But
I'm-
then the end.
I'm really hoping that they actually address what it would
Yeah.
be like if
I hope it's
half
horrific.
of the
They're
like
not going to.
Opening
not going
scene-
to, but I
Opening
wish
scene,
they would.
Hawkeye's
Crash.
family is dusted.
plane crashes,
Totally.
like just buildings that are collapsed.
See,
just
That'd be super cool.
I don't.
super
Listen,
like
hold
just
on. Wait, you're
consequences are absurd.
Hawkeye's family gone is what you're predicting?
Oh, I think certainly they're gone. All of them.
I don't
Yes,
think so.
I think so.
Didn't they show the family in the trailers?
No.
No,
Did they not?
No. It's like a common
okay.
theory. I think that's
no,
the
because
only
I don't
reason
think
he
Hawkeye would come
actually-
back.
Yeah, come back. And I think that's a fine excuse.
That's true.
It's
I
fine.
think it's
Makes
it's
sense.
absolutely fine for the character. Yeah,
Yeah.
I especially
Like, there's
don't
not a
think he
lot
would
to Hawkeye's
shave
character,
his
but what there is his family,
Right.
and that's like the whole thing.
Yeah. Is that he had a
And it was like
family.
Natasha for like 2 seconds, but then that ended.
Ooh, do you think they're gonna try to revitalize that Hulk Black Widow thing?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know. I don't care.
I feel like that was
I
something
thought that was
in-
forced.
Yeah.
I think it's forced too, but yes, they will.
Are you sure?
Maybe they'll do it.
because
There was
they do like
controversy
this sort
about
of,
it.
like retcon things. Think about Thor.
I mean, yeah, but I mean,
They will
I
do
think they
things
will.
off screen just
I
to
do
make
think
it
they
work.
will.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a movie news that
Ooh,
I don't
be-
think you have.
It would be really cool to me if one of them died.
You don't have to add it, but
Let's
they
just
did.
lump it in real quick.
Yeah, I'll just bring it up now. It's I think this was this week. I could be wrong, but Tessa Thompson mentioned that the Marvel is discussing. I don't. They've said that this is not a spoiler for Endgame, by the way. So I don't know what this means exactly, but they're discussing a Thor 4 with Taika Waititi again.
Oh, cool.
So I mean that's kind of interesting. I think that's kind of interesting.
Did
I didn't
Thor
think Taika would
Ragnarok
come
make
back.
them a shit ton of money? Then yes,
Yeah.
of course they're making another one with.
I know,
Taika
but
Waititi.
well, so it's weird because I do think Thor should die in Endgame.
I don't care.
I think it'd be.
I think the two that should die are
Interesting
Iron
if
Man
he
and
died.
Captain America, or Captain America.
I think all three of them.
I don't even really want. I don't think Iron Man needs to die.
Me neither.
A lot of people say that. I don't think he needs to die. I think Captain America needs to die.
Sure.
I think they could both die. and
I
it
think they
makes
both
sense.
can. I'm
I
fine
saw,
with that.
I saw a theory.
But I'm not like. So okay, so
Theory?
I'm gonna use Game of Thrones as a parallel here.
I haven't seen it.
Just as like an example.
Okay, I haven't
But
seen it.
I know. Calm down.
Yeah.
But so Game of Thrones is known for
haven't seen
deaths,
that.
obviously, so it's not as rare.
Yeah.
What?
Clearly.
Spoilers?
But like, even watching the new season, which is the last season,
Yeah.
there are certain characters where you're like, their story's over. How are they gonna die? Like you
Yeah.
kind of know they're gonna die. You know that their arc is completed. Now it's time for them to rest,
You know who it
basically.
is.
Brienne.
Right?
Brienne's done.
Yes.
I know
already
that
missed her.
actually. I saw
Yes.
that. I saw the end of her character.
I already miss her.
It was a good end to her arc.
It was. I know. But yeah, but exactly. Like you see her arc. That is the clear end, and now it is time for rest. Right?
She's gotta
That's-
she can have a couple more cool moments, and then she's
Exactly.
done, which is cool. That's fine.
What if she gets killed? This is Game of Thrones.
What?
What if she gets killed? This is kind of spoilers for Game of
Killed,
Thrones. I
brought
don't
back.
care. What if she got killed by like a White Walker Stannis?
Oh.
Because we never see Stannis.
And who's Stannis killed by though?
Her. She kills Stannis in like the middle of the woods, and it's the
trying to-
only death in Game of Thrones that you don't like really see out like.
Why does
front.
she kill Stannis in the middle of the woods?
Because Stannis killed Renly
Oh my god.
in like season 2.
This is.
This is the most absurd sounding thing I've ever heard.
God, let me look this up.
And then when
Listening
Stannis tries to siege Winterfell, he just loses, and Brienne's like standing there with like Lady Stark, and it's just like, no.
listening to people talk about Game of
No,
Thrones
okay.
without having
My
seen
point-
Game of Thrones. Jesus, Brian.
Sorry.
Christ almighty.
How do you spell Stannis?
Stannis.
Listening to people talk about Game of Thrones without having seen Game of Thrones is like
forgot
the
that she
stereotypical like nerd like Dungeons and Dragons
It's so
in
good.
movies and TV
But
and stuff.
it's so good. But my point was
They wouldn't do that.
that it's very obvious in that show when an arc is finished and when a character is going to die. I feel like Captain America has been the same character for a long time, and I
I
feel
agree.
like
Since Captain
even-
America 1.
sure,
to
but even
Infinity
through
War.
like
No, I
the
disagree.
conflict.
Shut up.
I also kind of disagree to an extent.
Winter
I don't
Soldier
think he's that
changes
interesting.
him.
I think Winter
He's-
Soldier changes him, and then I think
He's
he's
to
like
me one of
had
the
this
most
like
bland characters.
tiny little arc throughout like Winter Soldier, and like the whole Bucky thing is like basically like where his story comes in. And I see very clearly in my head Bucky coming back, and then Cap's ready to die. Right? His best friend, who he thought was dead, he finally finds. He redeems him. He saves him from all of these people. Then he dies. He fails him, and then he brings him back. Finally, he is alive. He is well, and then Captain America has to die. That is how like the arc goes. That is how it makes logical sense. I don't see that for Iron Man. I don't see where like his arc I don't see where his arc ends.
My guess, I don't know how this would make any sense. Similar to, I'll tie this in for you.
Thank you.
Similar to Vader's birth and Padme's death. Because I do like that. How he's being created and she's dying or dead. Doesn't make any sense why she's dying, but whatever.
It's fine.
I think it's possible that his child gets born as he's dying. And like he's away from her as this is happening and cannot like there's nothing he can
When
do.
was the last time we saw Pepper Potts?
Infinity War.
Homecoming. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the very beginning of Infinity
very
War, right?
beginning.
Yeah.
Do we know? Is she pregnant?
She's no.
Oh my gosh, she's
But
gonna
they-
be beheaded.
But she's going to
They
be.
talked to no. There's nothing
Do you
about
get
that.
it?
But that
I
could
wish
be.
that Pepper was in the
Paltrow.
movies more.
She's apparently in this one.
Is she?
I know she's been in some of the
She's
trailers.
gotta be. How could she
I
not
think
be?
Pepper's interesting. I love Iron Man 3.
I like Iron Man 3.
I love Iron Man 3.
I can understand why people don't.
I can too, but I like that movie a lot.
Yeah.
And I think Pepper's really interesting. And I
I think she's
that
gonna be actually
used her.
active in this film.
See, that's the thing about. That's
It's
another
3
thing about-
hours.
I know. That's true.
Which is good,
That's
in
the
my
other-
opinion, for a
I-
finale.
I'm okay with it. I'm not looking forward to it.
It means they
but
can do cool
Yeah.
things
It's
and
fine.
like fill out plots.
I'm
Yeah.
not looking forward to it because I work in a movie theater
Yeah.
and people suck.
Yeah.
God, that's gonna
Think it's-
suck.
But,
Oh God,
oh my
it's gonna
God,
be
wait,
over.
wait, that's
it's gonna
gonna be horrible,
Yeah, it's gonna be
Jack.
over the summer too, because we get movies later. So
Wait,
it's gonna be
oh,
over
UV
the
Mall.
summer. Yeah.
Oh, so you won't get it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It'll
I'm
be a
lucky.
little
I'm lucky,
less.
but it's still gonna suck.
I would hate to work in like at Fairfax Corner tomorrow. I would hate that. I mean, that'd be horrible.
Yeah.
Do you think
But,
they're all like huddled together saying a prayer as we speak?
Honestly.
Yeah. The other thing about Marvel, I feel like I've never talked about this before, so I'm going to talk about it now just because I can.
Whoa.
Is that I don't feel like they utilize supporting characters well at all.
No,
No, I agree.
Which is weird because they're all supporting characters, kind of.
supporting
But
characters.
I feel like they don't.
Well, there's some they
Well,
do.
okay, that's
There's
why.
some they do. Like I was
listen.
talking about, like Steve Rogers and Bucky, right? Like Bucky's kind of a supporter of Steve Rogers changing the
Mhm.
little amount that he does,
Yeah.
right? Or even Black Widow, like a little bit for him, a little teensy bit in Winter Soldier, and then not really past
That's
that.
that's why I think.
And then Pepper Potts is just not in the movies, and then like. I guess if there is a Thor 4, we could see where Valkyrie goes if she does anything.
Oh,
with
I
Thor.
liked her. in
Thor
Ragnarok.
Thor
I
3
like
had the strongest
her.
supporting characters.
I agree with that.
I
Yeah.
don't agree with
Without
that.
Well,
a doubt.
except Loki, but he was fine. But
Yeah.
he just wasn't like as good as he normally is.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I don't
Even
think,
Hulk was kind of interesting.
Yeah. He was
I
fine.
think that one. Listen, my
I don't
one
think
of my
this-
biggest issues with Marvel is it's just the world that they've created is bland, and there's really not much to it other than it's Earth with some special people, and it never feels like interesting or really too dynamic. Which
Sure.
I guess that's coming from a Star Wars standpoint, which is what I grew up with.
Correct.
So I'm used to massive
fair.
universes with lots of details.
Mm.
But I feel like a good
doesn't feel
a
fleshed
good
out.
a good road to that is through the supporting characters. You think about the first Star
Yeah.
Wars, the entire supporting cast is one of the strongest in
Boba
cinematic
Fett.
histories.
Not really supporting cast.
Yeah, but like even
He's
the
so
even
bad.
just the even just
I
the
love
background
Boba Fett.
characters
He's so
are
stupid.
interesting to look at.
I will get a lot. Of hate,
He's so
a lot of hate for
mysterious.
that.
No.
I love,
dumb.
I
no,
love
it's,
Boba Fett.
I understand where you're coming
Visually,
Boba-
he's cool.
Boba
That's
Fett
it.
is one of my favorite characters. I hate his roles in the movies, but I also don't really like his arc in the Clone Wars. But we'll get into that later.
I haven't seen the full Clone Wars series.
Well, you're a fraud.
No, hey, what I've seen is great, and
No,
I've,
it's great
and I've
show.
watched. I've kind of just watched random episodes, which
We'll talk more about the
Academy.
Clone Wars later. We could have talked about it last week, but Brian was being a butthole.
One more thing on, so Star Wars
Yeah.
is kind of weird because it's had decades and decades of extended
Not-
universe building.
Not necessarily.
That's
even after
true.
No, but like books and whatnot. not
And
the
books
movies.
are normally where a lot more detail is put in.
And so
I
it
guess,
feels
yeah.
Star Wars feels really like a breathing
out,
universe,
yeah.
and I agree with
yeah,
that.
because there's so much just detail that's been added.
Yes.
but
I
it's,
mean-
but if you only have the movies, I see what you're saying. Like if you only have the movies,
Yeah.
it will not feel like that.
not
I don't,
as much.
I don't
I
think
think
so.
It's still more.
necessarily.
I still agree,
I-
still
yeah.
more than
Yeah.
MCU.
I agree as well.
Significantly more.
But I
honestly.
think part of the reason it feels so much more is because of all the extra things, like knowing that's
Yeah.
out there.
Well,
there's
sure.
so
Although
much-
I will,
Okay,
I
Like
will.
Darth
no.
Bane and all that
There-
stuff.
Marvel has TV shows. Marvel has comic books.
That's not
Marvel
what
has
that's
other
also-
That's not
books.
what we mean though. I mean
like this universe. Like
okay, so the thing
Yeah, no, I
think
know.
what he's
TV
trying to
shows.
say is that like with Star Wars, right? There's been years and years and years of fans just demanding to know every little tiny thing about Star Wars, right? There's
Sure.
there's information on everything.
Everything.
There's extended lore,
Yeah.
right? It's like to the level of detail of like Lord of the Rings at this point.
Yes.
Or like Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Right? It is an epic fantasy.
Yes.
Marvel is not an epic fantasy. So it does
Yes.
not feel as fleshed out.
Which is why 22 movies ends up feeling
Right.
excessive for me. That's probably just me, but the
Sure,
fact that there's really not a whole ton going into making this like world interesting, it just makes it feel overkill for me.
Sure, and I think that the big thing that I'll say devil's advocate wise for that is that I would not say that Marvel is attempting to be or has ever been an epic fantasy.
No. That's
Except
also
maybe
that is
Infinity
also
War.
I don't even agree with that.
But it's
I think
still
that
different.
I think that Marvel. Here's the thing about Marvel. I don't think the individual movies bring anything new.
Well, what was
Like we
interesting?
say that all the
Yeah.
time. Like we don't think that
Yeah.
the individual movies bring anything new to cinema. But the idea itself of the MCU, of this Marvel Cinematic Universe, is trying to develop its own way of storytelling through movies. And I think if they stick Endgame and they successfully transition into Phase 4, 5, 6, Saga 2, whatever that's going to be,
Yeah.
They have done
for
that.
a very long time. Yes.
they have done that. They have created a system where you are telling these massive comic book sagas, right, in the span of 20 movies,
And
right?
that is interesting.
And that is so interesting. Like, okay, so the big problem with like a movie like X-Men 3.
Oh my god, do you think they're gonna
You
do
seen X-Men?
zombies? Do you think they're gonna do Marvel zombies
not
for
gonna do
10
Marvel zombies.
years?
You've seen X-Men 3 The Last Stand?
No.
You
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to think what's the other big example of like them just compressing a saga into one movie. I can't think for whatever reason. The big one is X-Men 3.
I have something to say about Days of Future Past, but I don't want to take away from what you're saying, so go ahead.
I like Days of Future Past.
I
But-
like Days of
Let's
Future Past
wait
a lot.
real quick. Let's
Um,
make this Endgame
so-
point our last one, and then we'll
Yes.
wrap it up.
Yeah,
and
so
move on.
X-Men
Yeah.
3, The Last Stand, is about Dark Phoenix.
Mhm.
And is about like
But-
Jean Grey's corruption and is about her like all this. That is the most famous X-Men franchise. That is the most famous X-Men story from
Yeah.
comics,
Yeah.
right? By far, by a million.
The Dark Phoenix story.
The Dark Phoenix saga.
Saga.
They call it, right? And it takes place over. I don't know. I actually don't know the precise number of issues, but it's over 20 issues.
Mm-hmm.
And when you try to compress that many issues into one movie,
movie,
you just don't get the detail necessary
Well, also,
to tell the
they
story.
were trying to wrap it up. You know, like X-Men 3, I would compare it to if Marvel put
All of
Thanos
Civil War in
only in
one movie.
Endgame. Or sorry, Thanos, only
Yeah.
in Endgame, made it about nearly an hour shorter.
Yeah.
And also, like, it was his introduction. Not only was
Yeah.
he not teased, it's his introduction, and they do the snap and bring him back all in one movie. Like, it's
Yeah.
Sure,
it's
yeah.
pretty much that.
It is that. Yeah, exactly. And it's why it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I do think that the Infinity Saga in general would have been more interesting if Thanos was a bigger character before Infinity War.
Oh, for sure.
However, that I won't fault them for that. I actually will not say like that's a bad thing for them because they did not. There's no way they could have ever known what this was going to turn into.
Well, listen,
There's
I
no
think-
way they
I
could have
think-
ever planned from day one. We're going to make the Infinity Saga.
But James
Never.
Gunn was on the right track with that when he had Thanos as an actual character.
Yeah,
in
But
the
his
first Guardians.
portrayal of Thanos is so different.
It is. It's
completely
very different.
Like,
Yeah.
he's
Right?
just Ronin.
I think that's around the time they were like, wait,
Yeah,
we should do
we
this.
should- yeah.
Right? Or when the Tesseract is a part of the first one.
But I don't think they like when they introduced the Tesseract.
Thanos is
they didn't-
in the Avengers, right?
No.
At the very end.
At the very
At
end.
the very end.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because Loki's like working for Thanos.
They didn't
kind
know
of
that
ish.
that was the Space Stone, in my opinion, until maybe Avengers, maybe.
Oh, that's
Because I was
right.
in.
That was
yeah,
Space
it was in the
Introduction.
first Avenger,
Yeah,
the second MCU or third MCU movie.
yeah. But like,
Fourth?
but
Fourth,
even
that's-
though it was in it, they did not know they were gonna make the Thanos
No,
Infinity
that's what
War
I'm saying.
saga.
I don't think they
right.
knew.
So I won't fault them for that, but
Not
I
until
do.
Guardians.
Yeah, exactly.
I
And I
agree,
do
yeah.
think that is where the next saga can really improve and where we can see a
Right.
more
Actual
cohesive
planning. Yeah.
plan and story of 20 plus movies that all actually connect, right?
Yeah.
Not all of the 22 MCU movies to date in the Infinity Saga connect, right? Incredible Hulk is not important.
Incredible Hulk's so weird now.
Iron Man 1 and 2 don't really connect very much other than in setting up this character. Like, things like Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp are kind of irrelevant.
Also,
appears.
Age of Ultron
It's-
feels so random now.
Age of Ultron
right?
feels really random. Just
Why was that an Avenger movie?
That's right.
Yeah,
it feels
it's
like
bizarre.
such a throwaway.
Yeah,
It's
why was that
bizarre.
an Avengers movie?
it feels like I feel like it could have been Iron Man 4.
exactly.
Well, no,
You know?
I feel like Ultron could have been an interesting storyline.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be made by Hank Pym.
Yeah.
And-
Oh, really?
Yeah.
which could have
That's
been more
interesting.
interesting than
That's
I feel like
definitely more
if
interesting.
they kept Ultron around too, if they didn't kill him off in that movie,
I'm
I
glad they
think
killed him off because
I thought it was kind
I
of
like
fun.
James
He's terrible.
Spader.
I
hate him
love
so much.
James
Yeah.
Spader.
I hated it so much.
Did you hear
Um,
Joss Whedon did not know what to do with Thanos? Like he was completely
Yeah.
worried. So he
That makes sense. I mean, I will say Joss Whedon has his problems.
brothers didn't either. Am I right? Yep, tap,
Yep, tap, yep, tap. No. I will say that
Wrong.
Joss Whedon has his problems, right? I don't think the Russo brothers have improved the franchise. I know. I see the time.
We
time.
gotta wrap this up.
Shush.
Okay.
I see the time. I told you that we were going to talk about this the whole time.
I know.
I
but
told you.
Let's go.
What I will say is that Joss Whedon. I feel like if
See
Joss
the
Whedon
movie.
could direct the movies almost, and the Russos could write them, even then I wouldn't like it. I don't want the Russos involved. But like,
the Russo's writing it.
huh?
It's Stephen McFeely and what I forget. The
They
other
have
guy.
written them before, though, right?
No.
No?
Russo's never write them.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they wrote.
What? So
Honestly,
all
I
of
don't
the
think they've ever written
all
any.
the credit that they get isn't deserved at all.
Well,
Never mind.
If you think the stories are really good.
Okay, then my point is
Don't
non-existent.
talk to me like
Never
that.
mind.
No, I just feel like you don't think the stories.
Can
are
we
good.
move on?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I guess so.
That was honestly
predictions for out of 10 Endgame for each of us.
Oh,
out of 10.
Go.
9.5. It's gonna be ridiculous for me. I'm so easy to please with these.
Honestly, I would say 7 at least.
I'm gonna say.
I am going into this
I'm
with
gonna say.
same
I
larger
don't do
expectations.
0.5, so I'll say 9. I won't say 10, but I'll say 9 point. I'll say 9.
I'm going into this with a very open mind. So, let's move on. New trailers will just like bounce around real quick.
Well, they don't write these.
Hobbs and
Wow.
Shaw, go. Thoughts.
Wait,
quick.
we have to. Oh my god,
Oh,
jingle,
shoot,
you
sorry.
bastard! Go jingle.
New trailers.
Gemini Man.
Oh,
We are not-
to clarify,
we
we
are-
skipped movie news and we're on
Yes.
trailers.
We are not yet in the age of having that technology plastered all over the movie.
It
is
looks
my
a little
thinking.
weird.
Looks
It's like pretty
very
good.
weird.
I think it's fine.
It just
in
looks
some shots.
plastic.
I just think the movie itself
I think
looks
it'll be
boring.
better when it comes out because they said it's still in production.
Yeah,
Yeah.
also boring.
I
Looks
just
like
think
it
the
should be
movie
made,
itself
like-
doesn't look very good.
I agree.
I would
Looks
love
like
to.
Oblivion.
I
It
would
looks
love.
like it should be made like early 2010s.
Yeah, I would love to see Will Smith in like a cool action role again,
It's not gonna happen.
I want
but-
to see him in a like.
or just a cool role.
Demanding film.
Because a lot of
Since like the concussion.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Godzilla. I'm actually kind of excited for this movie.
I'm
I
so
don't-
excited.
I like big
I don't know how
monsters
you're
and
excited.
lasers.
It's like Hellboy. It's gonna be awesome and stupid and great. Except Hellboy is trash.
Wow.
Continue.
It look,
Yeah, no, I have no opinion. It looks dumb.
look big monsters and they fight each other.
I think CGI's good.
Oh my
I
god.
The
think
scale
CGI
is good in
Mostly
those movies.
good.
Well, the scale is great in those movies because the one guy. Is it the same director?
Garth Edwards.
No,
Edwards?
it's
Garth
a
Edwards
good
on to it.
director though. It's Mike.
He directed the
Daugherty,
wrong
I think.
one.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing his
Michael
last name
Gondry?
right. No, Mike Daugherty. I think he directed Trick or Treat. And
Oh, interesting.
I haven't seen Godzilla, but
It's one
from-
of those horror.
I haven't
directors.
seen the first Godzilla, but
Kind
from
of
the trailers, I think the
It's
scale
okay.
looks much better in the
Mike
first
Dougherty.
one.
That's kind of true.
Yeah.
Dougherty.
Oh,
I
that's
think-
the
I
Krampus
don't
guy.
think,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't
Krampus,
think
which
there's
I like.
currently anyone in Hollywood that has an eye for like depth and
Scale.
as
Like Garth
much
Edwards.
as Garth
Gareth-
Edwards.
Gareth
He's,
Edwards.
is- that's the best part of Rogue One.
Oh
For
yeah.
sure.
Best part of Rogue
When
One.
you
The
see
space battles
Oh,
and like
God
the
damn.
scale of everything. Best part.
When the Death
He-
Star is rising up over
Sorry,
the
I
When
should
at the end.
I should clarify. Only good part.
When the AT-ACT comes through the, it's an
Shut up.
AT-ACT, not an
Oh.
AT-AT.
Whatever.
Why would I say it?
You fool.
When it comes through the smoke and
Yeah.
starts shooting at them, wow.
Good times. What's the next one?
Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw.
I don't know
It's
how.
Oh my god.
I did not know how I don't know how I didn't know this movie existed. I had no
so
idea.
pumped.
I had no
When's that
idea this
come out?
movie existed, and I have no idea how I didn't know.
I think it said May.
But I mean, I'm down.
I'm so excited.
If
It
there's
looks
gonna
so
be-
stupid. There are 4 cars attached to a helicopter.
August.
Jason Statham and Dwayne The Rock Johnson might be the best action movie combo that
Yeah.
has ever been compiled, and I'll watch it. It
I
looks
don't
like
know. Steven Seagal.
it looks like it's going to be like the Return of Xander Cage level, like, dumb, and that's my kind of movie.
It's so
Have you
self-aware,
seen The
I
Return of
love it.
Xander Cage?
No, I
I'm
haven't.
not.
Oh my gosh. I just need to tell you guys a scene from Return of Xander Cage really fast.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So, the beginning of The Return of XXX, The Return of Xander Cage,
Right.
is there is a chase scene where Xander Cage has been stealing something from the top of this giant cell tower, right? He's basically... We find out at the end of the scene that he's stealing internet so that the people in the town can watch a soccer game. But he's basically up there
All right,
on this
fine,
tower,
I'll watch
and
it.
the police are there, and they're like, "Bro, you can't be up there. Like, you can't be doing this." And he's like, "Sorry, guys." And he puts on skis, and
Oh,
he
yeah,
jumps
yeah, you've
from
told me.
the top of this at least 3-story cell tower onto a mountain that does not have
What?
snow on it.
What?
No snow. No snow at all.
I swear you've talked about this on the podcast.
I probably have. 'cause
No,
it's absurd.
I've never heard this
I
before,
probably
yeah.
have because it's so absurd.
Maybe you talked about it.
I
there was
love
one
telling
time you
this
were there.
scene because this scene is so stupid. He literally jumps off of this onto a mountain that doesn't have any snow on it, and then skis down the mountain, like through a forest
Wow.
on a mountain. And then like he eventually like gets off the skis and like gets on a skateboard, and he's like skateboarding down. And he like skateboards on like the side of a bus. It's kind of cool.
Wow.
It's
All right.
absurd. It's so dumb.
Anyway, yeah, Hobbs and Shaw looks amazing. I'm so pumped.
I'm so.
There's
excited.
also a scene where a character, like, okay, so like something these two characters say to each other a lot is like read between the lines, and like they show out they like separate their fingers like scissors.
Right.
And then there's a scene where one character has a sniper rifle and is like watching like the other character talking to the villain.
Yeah.
Or like one of the villains.
Yeah.
And he can't get a shot or whatever.
Yeah.
On the guy. But the villain is threatening his friend. So his friend has his hands up, and he opens his fingers. And he shoots
No.
in between his
Oh my
fingers
god.
and kills the guy.
Oh my god.
It's so funny. It's so good. It's amazing. Yeah, there. Look at him. He's skiing down just a mountain
I can't-
without snow.
This is where movies confused me as a child, where I'd see someone do something totally impossible, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
that looks easy.
Let's go
It's
on
so
to movies that we've watched.
Sure.
Go Jingle.
What have I watched?
Talk about Hellboy.
Movies that we've watched.
You want to talk about Hellboy?
Talk about Hellboy.
Hellboy
Hellboy.
is easily okay. I was talking to Aiden, and Aiden has seen worst movies this year apparently because he's Aiden. That's the
Because
only
he's Aiden.
excuse.
Yeah.
Easily the worst movie I've seen all year. So bad. One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I haven't seen any movies.
It's indescribably bad, and I can't believe that I've seen some reviews where people are like, it's not as bad as everyone's saying. Because it's so much worse than everyone is saying. The dragon scene
Sure.
is a scene where he grabs King Arthur's sword.
Oh.
He grabs it.
Yeah.
It gets him like some weird like flash forward memory or something. He sees a prophecy
Yeah.
where it cuts to just that brief segment from the trailer, and then it cuts away.
Wait, is that it?
There's no dragon.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. There is a
No.
scene where a pig. I don't care about spoiling this. I'm sorry.
I don't care
There
either.
is a
Yeah, I don't
scene
care.
where
Spoilers
where
for Hellboy.
I hate to bash like the lore of the movie, but in the context of this movie, because I'm sure like it's pretty decent on its own. Like Guillermo del Toro's movies are probably good.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen them. But
Neither have I.
like in this movie, the lore is just so ridiculous. Like this one scene, there's this pig character, and he like I don't remember the context of the scene. He's like stealing the evil Blood Queen's body parts so
Sure.
he can put her back together so she can whatever. She's doing
Right,
something with
yeah.
a portal. I mean, I don't even think that's accurate, but there's a portal. I remember that.
Is that what Hellboy comes from? That was.
No, that's
Oh.
that's just oh my god, this movie. That's just something else that happens. But
Someone's just lost for
I
words.
really am. They're just such a mess. Okay, so this pig guy crashes into this church where he knows the Blood Queen's arm is.
Oh.
And he just so much blood. He smashes down the door. He like smushes 3 people to smithereens. Like they have
Right.
blood everywhere.
Yeah.
And then he's charging through, killing everyone. And there's this mute monk, I guess, or something. And he's like, I need like a holy person to speak to make this box open.
Of course.
And the monk's like, and the pig's so dumb he doesn't understand. So he's like, oh, why won't you say anything? Rips off his jaw,
Okay.
grabs his tongue or vocal cords out of his throat, eats them.
No.
And then speaks.
Are you kidding
And he
me?
goes, "Blah, blah, blah," in like Latin, and the box pops open.
No. No. You joking? Are you kidding me?
Doesn't make any sense. It's so stupid, and it makes no sense. The box pops open, the scene ends.
That's so good.
It was so
so good.
baffling. Like, as I watched this, I was just in shock at how...
Makes you think,
That's
why
another
didn't they
thing
just
people
make
love.
the monk not mute?
No, I mean, I loved it.
Don't get me wrong.
But the movie's so long and insufferable that... And that same character turns, he like gets mega gains because he fulfills the Blood Queen's thing, and she like makes him bigger, and he's fighting Hellboy at the end, and then no clue why. Also, worst visual effects I've ever seen in a professional film, but
Professional film.
big budget film. But I'm really at a loss for words here. No. So he's huge, and he I don't know. He fails to kill Hellboy. I don't know why this happens. But the Blood Queen appears in this fight, and he's like, blah, blah, blah. She's like, you betrayed me. And then he's like, you betrayed me? Doesn't make any sense. And then she, like, does this. She's very much like the Dark Tower, Matthew McConaughey villain.
Stop breathing.
And she, like, does this, and he just, like,
They
shrinks.
can't see that. They simply can't see that.
She just, like,
Shakes her hand.
pretends to do powers on him.
Okay, yeah.
And he just shrinks all the way down.
Hellboy?
The pig guy.
The pig guy.
Just shrinks into this little thing and then shrieks, "Fuck you, Hellboy!" in a high-pitched voice, and then blows up.
I need to see this movie.
The same character.
You're selling it for me, man.
No, but it's
You're
not.
saying this is the worst movie you've ever
There's
seen?
an earlier scene.
We should go see this instead of watching
No.
Endgame.
Yes.
There's an earlier scene where that same character pretends to be the baby of this family. Pretends to be a baby.
No, you're making it worse
No,
for yourself. I
to-
want to see it
To
more
be fair,
now.
he's like a shapeshifter or something, but he's little at this point, and Hellboy's like, this ain't a baby, and he takes a horseshoe. And he
There's
sticks
no way
it-
in hell. This isn't the
How did
the
this get
best movie
made?
I'll ever see.
It's baffling. He sticks the horseshoe in the face of the baby.
Is David
and the
Harbour
baby
good?
cries. No, I don't think so.
What?
I don't think he's good at all as Hellboy.
What
Or
was
maybe
the
it's
What was the
direction.
line from the trailer?
one good scene.
Where she says something and he's like, "Oh, I don't think we'll work out because you're a blah blah blah, or I'm a blah blah
Yeah.
blah, and you're fucking not."
Did that make you laugh?
No.
Okay, so the whole movie's that.
Okay.
But like.
It's like Captain Marvel.
But like, even that, I was like, wow, that's dumb, haha. Like, I didn't actually laugh reactionary,
said,
but I was like, I'm down. I don't know how they made a trailer for that movie. I don't know how they made that movie. The trailer
was fine.
is
it was-
fine.
yeah.
Like, it looks passable.
There were some
No
parts
clue
that I
how
was
they
like,
did
hey, that actually looks pretty decent.
The effects are so bad. She gets her eye shot out at one scene. It's like drooping down. She's like, ugh. And it's like bouncing like jelly. And it looks like so digital. You can even see on the Hellboy logo at the beginning.
Brian,
You
should
can
we
see,
watch
like,
Hellboy
the
after
box,
this?
like the invisible lines where the flame box that they put on in After Effects. You can see where it cuts off. And it's like on the... Oh.
Wow.
I also saw
All
Pet
right.
Cemetery, which I loved.
Brian, you see anything good?
That's all.
I'm going to talk about... Okay, we talked about Game of Thrones a little bit. I'm going to talk about Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 2.
Go for it.
Night
That's
of the Seven
fascinating.
Kingdoms.
I'm in shock.
I actually did watch that. Some
Night
of
of
my
the Seven
coworkers
Kingdoms.
put it on during
Did
one
you
of
watch
their
it?
slow bits, yeah.
Okay, so Dylan doesn't like it, but I want to talk about it and have Dylan not comment on it because
They
I
showed-
love
I think
it.
Boobies.
it's fine. It's just like a normal episode.
They showed the boobies!
No, they didn't.
They showed
Yes,
the
they did.
sides of boobies.
Yeah, it's very much side boob.
It is very clean for Game of Thrones.
It is. It's very clean for Game of Thrones. But I think that this episode was so good. I think that it was the best episode that we've seen since Winds of Winter, which was Season 6, Episode 10. I think that
Wow.
it's probably better than...
What about the... Wait, we're in season 8 now?
We're in Season 8.
What season was the Battle of the Bastards?
That was season 6, episode 9. That's the
Oh.
episode prior to
That was
season 6.
6. I thought that was 5.
Season 6.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because, I loved this episode because I just think that it was just a testament to how good Game of Thrones is at making characters work together in such an interesting way.
Yeah,
I
can see that.
And I think that all of the character moments made sense for me. I know that there were a few moments, namely the Arya one, that didn't work for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But
Well, because they saw that character as a child.
well, they see the character as a child. Okay,
She looks quite young.
to be fair,
That's
the actress
true, yeah.
looks young.
Yeah.
The actress is 22.
Yeah.
The character is 18,
Yeah.
which is old for Game of Thrones. To clarify, Sansa Stark
Yeah.
was wed to Tyrion Lannister in season 4 of the show,
Yeah.
and there was it was expected of them
Uh-huh.
to
Yeah.
consummate
the
said
marriage,
marriage.
yeah.
They end up not doing that because Tyrion's a cool dude.
Cool.
Tyrion's like, I'm not going to share your bed if you don't want me to.
Yeah.
But at this time, Sansa Stark is 14 years old.
Oops. Oops.
The show is not afraid of
That's no
that,
good.
right? Danny in the books is very young. Danny in the books is 13.
Really?
Danny in the books
Didn't
is
know that.
13 years old.
Neither
She's
Clark
17 in the
is
show
not
when the
13.
show starts, and when the show
Really?
when the show
Really?
begins,
Didn't know
Danny
she was
is
that young.
17 years old because she is naked in episode 1.
Oops.
She is raped in episode 1 and 2.
Oops.
So she's 17. In the books, she is 13. So an 18-year-old character who happens to look young is unfortunate, but is tame for Game of Thrones.
Wait, she was
is all
supposed
I'm
to be
saying.
17 in that?
She's 18.
No, not
Danny.
Danny.
Danny
Yeah.
in season 1
Yeah.
is 17 years
She
old.
looks older.
She looks older because the actress was 22 at the time.
Emilia Clarke.
Yeah.
Amelia Clark was 22 at the time.
Okay, then the quote that makes sense.
Maisie Williams is 22 years old. She just looks very young because she's also very short. And Gendry, the actor, kind of looks very old.
Does
but
everyone look young to you, Brian? Because
Okay.
sorry,
But-
Brian is a behemoth. He's very
so,
It's true.
but I think that moment actually works really well because to me that's the first time that Arya is allowed to is like expressing her humanity at all since season 4,
Sure,
5,
sure,
one of those.
sure.
When
Sure,
did she
sure.
last express her humanity?
I think
What act? Like, what did she-
very quickly. Okay, once she becomes blind,
Oh yeah. Okay.
which I think is the beginning of.
Or she's
it's-
freaking out.
That's either the beginning of season 6 or like mid
5.
or beginning of season 5. I don't remember.
Arya's blind.
No.
She's blind for a time.
Okay.
She's not blind anymore. But I think
How blind
since
this works.
since then she has not been the same. Arguably since earlier than that, right? And I think that this is the first time in a long time she's allowed to be human. And I think that it's even such a sad note at the end when afterwards Gendry's asleep and she's sleeping next to him and you see this look in her eyes. She's like that. She wasn't satisfied.
Mhm.
She didn't get anything out of that interaction.
Because she's a lesbian. Am I right?
No.
What do you have
Because
against homosexuals?
she's lost a part of her. She's lost a part of her
Oh,
humanity that
right.
allows her to enjoy that. And she wanted that so bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what she did with what is most likely her last night on Earth or
What?
Westeros, the
Oh,
Seven
she-
Kingdoms.
She believes.
What she believes, what is very
Yeah.
likely, right? The White Walkers are a very powerful force. What is very likely her last night on Earth. That's what she chose to do, and she couldn't find satisfaction in that. Like she's lost this piece of her humanity.
Yeah.
Which I think is very powerful. I loved the semblance of characters around the fireplace.
Right.
That
Brienne scene. I haven't watched
the
like a
Brienne
second.
scene
I
is-
haven't
like the
watched a
Brienne scene
second
a
of
lot.
that show. That
Brilliant.
was brilliant.
I think just the characters work really well together. They're reminiscing. A lot of people think that like it's quote unquote filler,
I think it's filler.
I can
or
understand
it's
that.
like the characters reminiscing is for like fan sake.
Yep.
But
I-
my argument for that is that many of these characters truly have not seen each other in 7 seasons.
I can partly.
They need this.
I can partly agree with that, but also at the same time, I feel like it's important to work on character and build that up, and understand how characters work, which I feel like that episode very much was doing. Yeah.
Yeah, like
In
these
time
characters
period.
have had such different stories, especially when you just look at the Stark family, right? So Sansa and Arya already had their reunion. We had Jon and Arya, episode 1, I believe. Bran, all of these, Bran, Sansa, Arya, Jon, have such different and yet emotional arcs and changes and things that happen to them, and now watching them collide again for the first time in 7 seasons is just so powerful to me. I loved Tyrion and Jaime talking, because Jaime is, I think, the best character in the show.
I agree.
And it's just so... He's finally left Cersei behind. Finally. After so long. And he can finally talk to Tyrion about Cersei and about like what happened and about where he was as a person and as a, I guess, call it a lover. Weird. And I think that their scenes are just so good, and I feel like there are characters I'm missing. Dany's okay. I'm not huge on Dany. I love the Dany Sansa scene that happened.
Are you okay? Oh,
Fine.
The
Dylan was,
Dany Sansa scene that happened.
I'm sorry.
Were you stabbed?
I was stabbed.
The Dany
What
Sansa
is
scene
that?
was great.
It's like a splinter.
I don't think that Dany has been super strong this season, but I think that's because she's
like
the
her.
one character that doesn't have lots of connections going on. You know, like she's been on her own for so long, right?
I was surprised that she was so forgiving of Jorah.
Me too.
But I was
But
cool
yeah,
with it.
I like the Sam stuff. Sam and Jorah was cool. I like Little Lady Mormont. I think that was one of the best episodes I've seen in a very long time. I was very happy with it. And that's my Game of Thrones whole thing.
I watched The Felonies of Grumblepard.
Oh God.
Have you seen it yet, Brian?
I have not watched it. No,
It
don't.
is
Just
not
don't.
great.
I'm very much considering not doing it.
No, just
I-
Maybe read
I'm
the
sure I will.
screenplay.
No.
But
Actually, that could be interesting.
well, yeah, because it would work. I honestly believe it would work very well as a book.
I still don't think it's interesting.
It's just that J.K. I don't know. I feel like it was going somewhere.
I need to see it again.
It wanted to
I
like.
wiped it.
I think it wanted to point out, like.
I remember I had
Um,
tickets for it,
What was
Yep.
and I had to. You remember why I
Did
didn't?
anyone ever pay you back?
I don't remember.
Maybe it was
It's
supposed
fine.
to. Actually.
No,
it
but
wanted to like show the rise to power of like a maniacal dictator in Grindelwald.
Sure.
But nothing happened in the entire movie.
Oh no, not at all.
Close to the end, they made it seem like maybe something was
Horrible.
starting to happen, and then it cut off.
It's so bad what happened.
And
at the end of that movie.
that's that, and also the fact that it's just entirely too cluttered is why I think it would make a better book. And because J.K. Rowling doesn't really
Writes
know
books.
much about how to write screenplays,
She's
and
working-
her
that was
books
the
are
biggest
fantastic.
problem, I thought.
she's
for
working
sure.
on it.
I
Yeah,
just
but
think
she shouldn't. I think she should have a helper or something.
I think the reason the Harry Potter movies worked so well were because they were adaptations of the book
Right.
instead of
Yeah.
trying to make a book.
Totally agree.
I don't know how to put it, but
No,
I'll
I'm
watch it
totally
like
with
the
you.
week before the next one.
If the next one's good, then go back watch it so you could see like, wow, that was a road bump.
I didn't have
Instead of being like, wow.
Yeah.
No, I'll watch
Just
it
avoid
if
that.
I'll watch it before the next one.
I didn't have as big a problem with Johnny Depp as I was expecting.
He's
He was fine to me.
Except
I just
movie.
think that he didn't really do too much, and they tried to make it seem like he did.
He has a skull bong.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
That he shows everyone World War II with.
Yeah. It's are you calling someone?
No, that was the phone ring.
Oh, okay. Brian's dog is howling. If that's not being picked up.
Teddy howls when the phone rings.
That's so funny.
Hey, that's really great for the podcast
it's
that we're doing.
really funny the first few times it happens.
I don't know.
And then when you realize when
I
he's
still
4
think
years
it's pretty
old that
funny.
it's going to happen every time.
So anyway, yeah,
You
that's
start to,
that's the
not like it so much.
that's my views
We're
on
going nuts.
the crime of Grundleboy.
All right, let's end this thing.
Yeah, let's go to M3 suggestions.
Oh,
Real
gosh.
quick.
Very brief. Very
Go
brief.
jingle.
We're gonna make a suggestion for you today, and you better watch it or else.
I don't know if I have
Jingles?
anything.
No.
I got something. Go ahead.
Shingles.
God, that'd be
If you like stand-up comedy, watch the Tig Notaro special on Netflix. Jesus, that's a lot of barking. It's good. Your turn.
I really like.
Tig Notaro. Go on.
I mentioned this very briefly earlier, but I really like the new Pet Sematary movie. A lot of people don't like it apparently.
Yeah.
I've never seen the original, and I
It's
really
not that
enjoyed
good.
No, I'm just saying I know a lot of people have like an attachment to it, and I didn't know anything about the story except the trailer, which is pretty spoilery. But I liked it a lot.
Right? Oh god, I have to come up with something. You know what I'm gonna recommend? I'm just gonna plug myself. Okay, I put a lot of time and effort into my Marvel reviews on Letterboxd.
Yeah. We've been getting followers, or you have.
Have I?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that, but
Check the email.
I put my Marvel reviews for every single one of them. Some of them are a little bit more in depth than others. They're pretty short though, because I was doing them all at once, and it's Letterboxd. So I put those on our Letterboxd account, which is letterboxd.com/m3movies. I also started I put my 2019 list on there. So anytime,
you did?
Yeah, anytime I see a movie in 2019, I'm going to write a short blurb for it and put it onto that list, and it's ranked, so you can track my rankings as I go.
I should do that. I have a Letterboxd.
And then I started doing my 2018 stuff just because I was like interested in it, but I haven't done a lot for it yet. My top 25 I think is in there right now, but they don't all have reviews.
Yeah.
They're all great movies though, so if you want just something to check out, that's a good list of suggestions right there. Is my top 25 from last year. So yeah, check out our Letterboxd account.
Yeah.
That has so far been all of my work.
What's it called?
letterboxd.com/m3movies.
Very good. Yeah, I probably won't do that. I'm not great with stuff and things.
I would have trouble keeping up.
Yeah, right? Cool. Thanks for listening to M3 Movies. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at M3 Movies. For both, it's pretty cool. You can also find our website, which is bit.ly/M3 site. You can find us on YouTube, though I would prefer if you didn't, unless you're trying to watch our essays.
But you should watch our essays.
You should.
So still subscribe to
We
YouTube.
put effort in, yeah.
So still subscribe to YouTube, because if we don't have a podcast, there will be an essay.
You can find that at bit.ly/M3movies. That's the easy one. Or you can find us everywhere with podcasting at anchor.fm/M3movies, which will take you right to wherever you listen to your podcasts, or you can just listen to it right on Anchor. And we have, I recorded an ad in the beginning, which probably would turn some people off, but we get money from that, and we really don't get money from a whole ton of other things, so that would be pretty beneficial to us. So I think that's it. Yeah. Thanks for listening to this Endgame podcast. I'm Jack.
I'm Brian.
I'm Dylan.
This has been M3 Movies. We love your stupid faces. Bye-bye.
Bye.